So this is one of the first production Shoei Glamsters in the country. You might have seen some clips of some of the pre-production ones. This is one of the very first proper ready for the shops one. We're going to take a look inside it. Now, I always said I would never do an unboxing video because Bennett's Bike Social is all about trusted, honest, in-depth reviews of bike kit. We want it to be a library of reviews where you can go there and know you're going to find out everything you need to know before you spend your money. And do go and check out the reviews there. We put a lot of time into them. We do a lot of miles. We have riders around the country testing kit for us. But we're not riding at the moment. So while we stay safe and stay home, I'm actually not going to be testing this one. Our production manager, Steve Lamb, is going to be. But I've got it. So I'm going to have a look inside and let's see what you get. And we'll try and have a good in-depth look at this helmet. As you probably know, the Glamster, which is a spectacular name. Put in the comments below maybe when you've watched this what you think it should have been called. But the Glamster is aimed at that retro market, street bikes, cafe racers. There's a lot of cool lids out there, so this one's kind of on there with it. We'll have a look at some of the others, but let's get inside. So we've got a large here. We've got the Glamster Off-White. So first off, as soon as you open it, you get a Pinlock. So this is a Pinlock Evo. Now, you may not know this, but Pinlocks always come in the box, not fitted, because technically the helmets aren't homologated for use with these Pinlocks. Okay, in this bit, we've got a bag of goodies. So we've got a chin skirt, some stickers. Oh, they say Glamster. Some instructions for how to fit the Pinlock. Tell you what, shall we fit the Pinlock in here? Make this more than just an unboxing video, make it actually somehow useful. We are going to have a full review of this helmet, obviously. And like all our reviews, we will be using it properly for a lot of miles, and we'll let you know what it's really like. So, little tiny bottle of silicone oil. And then a warning, no helmet can protect the rider against all foreseeable high speed and low speed impacts. Yep, how to use your helmet properly. Cool, it is worth having a look at the instructions. I know most people seem to think instructions aren't for them, but... So before we get inside, this is the plain colour, so it's £399 for this Glamster. Goes up to £499 for the graphics. I'll put some of the options that are currently available on screen. See, it comes in a nice Shoei bag. Always nice to have these bags. Nicely. Oh, I love the smell of a new helmet. Is that wrong? I remember when I used to work at Bike Magazine and somebody'd get a new helmet delivered. I'd always want to go and sniff their helmet. It's such a good smell. I guess it's glue sniffing, really, but they smell good. So, let's have a look. Now, there's a lot of helmets out at the moment that are giving this retro look. And sometimes it's at the compromise of visor or comfort even, or venting. The idea with this Shoei, so they say, is that it's modern technology, modern comfort and fit and safety, decent visor system, but with this awesome retro look. It does look very cool. Let's get rid of the sticker on the front. Sorry, Steve, I know it's part of the fun of getting a new helmet, but needs must. So let's have a quick look around it. We've got, see how that visor opens. And I'd always recommend anybody looking to buy a new helmet, obviously fit is vitally important. They're all ECE 2205 rated. There's also a sharp test of a lot of helmets. They're well worth having a look at, but what matters more than anything, more than price or anything, is that it fits you properly. This one's a large, I'm a medium typically, although in shoe busts I'm often a large. Make sure it goes on, it should be snug, it shouldn't be painful, but you shouldn't be able to move it around your head and try moving your head back and forth, side to side, twisting it around. It should be snug around there. Really, it's totally worth going into a dealer and getting them to help you. There should be trained people in there. Even like the major mail order places, you can go in there and go to the shop, try them on, because honestly, it's totally worth it. People used to say that they were an Arai head or a Shoei head. That hasn't been the case for many years. it is the case that they do different fits for different parts of the world. Not all manufacturers do, but it is really important that you get the fit right. So go and try helmets on. Anyway, back to the Shoei. So we've got a brow vent here. We've got chin vents. Can you close those? No, so they don't feed directly to the mouth. They're just going in, and then they will come up here across the visor. So let's try that visor mechanism. Yeah, that's nice. You can just crack it open. That's, especially if you're a glasses wearer and you're not wearing the Pinlock. To me, that's really important. You know, to just crack it open. So when you're on some ratchet helmets, it has to go up a fair bit before it's kind of held in place. And I find that irritating because I get too much air blast. But yeah, nice. You can crack that open, and then you've got, that's kind of it. Cracked open. Okay, we've kind of got a spot there. Be interested to see what that's like when we're riding in it. And then fully open. It's quite a flexible visor. Nice quality feeling seal. Visor, you do need tools to take the visor off. And that's typical of these kind of helmets. You don't get quick release visor mechanisms. But yeah, we've got quick release cheek pads, which is nice to find. So the idea of that is if you are involved in an accident and you're unconscious and the emergency responders need to get the helmet off quickly, they're trained to do it. They're trained to be able to get it off. Obviously, you don't want to move the head or the neck. But with removable cheek pads, they can be pulled out and then the helmet comes off a lot more easily without putting too much strain on your neck. So they're good to have. Nice feature there. So anyway, we've got a double D-ring strap. It's a multi-composite fibre outer shell. So it's a good, solid shell, nicely made, beautiful finish on the paint, really nice deep gloss. Nice finish on there. The EPS, expanded polystyrene liner, is multi-density. Now, some helmets, when you get inside to, let's take it apart. Sorry, Steve. But I always take helmets apart. If you're looking in a shop at one, maybe get them to take it apart for you. But it's worth seeing how it comes to bits, because a helmet you can remove the lining, and most of them can. Most price helmets now you can remove the liners, makes it easier to wash them. Washing should always be done by hand, but strictly between you and me, I tend to put my liners in a helmet bag. I pop them in the helmet bag and put them in hand wash in the washing machine. And I've been doing that for ages and they come out fine, but I don't recommend it. And if you do it and it goes wrong, it's not my fault. A clean helmet is a happy helmet. So there's your liner. That's the skull cap part. Not a particularly complicated one. There's not much going on there. We'll leave that out for a bit. Cheek pads. Quick release cheek pads. And you can see we've got the open shell now. Now you can see we've got some channels here, but they're not very deep. They're there really to help the air carry through. But yeah, so you've got feeding into the front, up over the visor. You've got brow vents, which can run over the top of your head. So not a badly ventilated helmet. Now that helmet has actually come from the first kind of retro modern helmet Shoei did, was the JO. That's $299.99. Really nice. I've had this a good few years. Really nice lid this. It's got a drop down sun shield. Now there is no drop down sun shield in the new Glamster. Drop down sun shield in here. Really nice open face lid. And Steve, who's going to be testing this lid, he bought one of these a good few years ago on my recommendation of it. And he's been wearing his for ages. Yeah, nice lid, that nice open face. From that came the Shoei X0. This is so cool. This is $359.99. In graphics, $419.99. Actually, the Shoei JO, $299.99 plain. That's $349.99 in graphics. So the X0, again, you've got a drop down sun shield, or you can wear it with, obviously either of these, you can wear them with goggles. So I sometimes wear this with motocross goggles. All you've got here for venting is just straight into the mouth and straight out again, straight through. That's it. There's nothing. You've got slight exhaust ports in there, but obviously you've got a fair bit of air coming in the front. So, you know, you've got good air circulation there. You can set the height the sunscreen comes down to, and it's really good. I wore this, last one was Ducati X Diavel, I think, launch. So it was fast, a lot of it, and you do tend to get some air coming up underneath if you're just using the drop-down sun shield. With motocross goggles, obviously, it's better, but yeah, it's It's not the most practical lid. It's not an everyday commuter lid, but it is really, it's just cool. Sometimes you just want a lid because it's cool and safe, obviously. So the Glamster, really, it's going up against this, the Arai Rapide. Now this is the one I'm using. Steve's using the Shoei, we will be. The Arai Rapide, this is the Hirotaki Arai version. Similar kind of lid, similar kind of retro styling. Still needs tools to get the visor off. The Rapide costs $449.99 in plain colours, or in this it's $529.99. So you're looking at £30 more for graphics and £50 more for plain colours. Here you've got the mouth vents. Now that can feed straight to your mouth, or that can be closed off and then it's just feeding up into the top over the visor. I've already fitted a Pinlock in here. You've also got these brow vents. These are quite typical on most Arais. Nothing else on the top of the lid, but you have got these quite effective exhaust ports. Now if we take the liner out of this, this has got quick release cheek pads as well. There's not much in it in the price, to be honest. You know, by the time you're in retail, in the shops, you're going to be looking at similar kind of things. I did a video a while ago about what goes into helmets, why some helmets are more expensive than others. Check it out if you want. I angle grinder them open. Please, if you watch it, don't keep going on about how I'm using the angle grinder and how it's not safe. I've still got my hands, so it's cool. But yeah, cut up an Arai and a box in that helmet just to try and show the differences in construction. So this is also a multi-composite shell. This also has a multi-density polystyrene liner. So a lot of similar technology to the Shoei, but Arai and Shoei have their own technologies. I'll link the video where Kane visited the Shoei factory. It was pretty interesting. Hope to go to the Arai factory sometime and show you around there. Looking at the liners, it's interesting. You know, I'm not saying I haven't worn the Glamster, so I can't pass judgment on it, but you can certainly see the difference in cost, in the cost of construction between these two liners. You know, this Arai one is much more complicated. There's a lot more going on there. Again, you know, I haven't worn this yet, so I can't tell you if it makes it any better. I wear a Shoei Neotic 2 most of the time, and I find that very comfortable. So, different helmets. Just wanted to take a second to say a big congratulations to Paul Thane. Bennett's Awards members were given the chance to win a unique Shoei Glamster. It was painted to look like the design of the late Tony Rutter, the iconic world champion. That helmet, once it was painted, was worn once by his son, the legendary Michael Rutter. And now you've won it, Paul Thane, so we'll get it off to you as soon as we can. So, between the two, what do you think? Tell us what you think between these. This Shoei Glamster is a really nice looking lid. Let's do the visor, let's fit the Pinlock. But yeah, tell us in the comments, which one do you prefer? Try and look past the graphics, look at the shape of the helmets. Tell us which ones you like best. So, visors. It's definitely a crosshead, not a posi drive here. It's always a pain when you have to use tools, but it's not the kind of lid really that you're going to be taking the visor on and off constantly. And you know, I'd want to use this with a black visor, and I probably wouldn't be using it for commuting much night riding. Right to the back of the bench. That's actually pretty quick and easy. Screw either side, that's quicker and easier than the Arai. There's your visor. So these are your little Pinlock tabs. Now Pinlock tabs are eccentric, offset one side or the other, so you can put extra tightness on the Pinlock. I'll show you fitting this. Now if you're not confident putting a Pinlock in, you can always ask your dealer to do it for you. I mean, if you're spending this kind of money on a helmet, I'm sure they will be happy to fit the Pinlock because it's only a quick job. So you don't want to be touching the inside. The inside is the side that's got this lip on it, a silicone lip. There were some, I can't remember what they were called, but there was some kind of, they weren't Pinlocks, but they were just one piece of moulded plastic. And by that being hard on that lip, it never sealed properly. Shoeburst ran those for a while, but they stopped doing it now. So all you do is put it into that hole. Actually, before you do it, it's worth peeling back a bit. You can peel it all off, but it's better really just to peel the edges off. Poke that edge into, there we go. Get that little notch into the holder. Don't be afraid to bend it. Visors I'm going to take it out again. I've done that. Visors are super strong. Okay, they're made of polycarbonate typically, or Lexan. I'll write it up. They're super bendy. That's why it's really important you only use safe cleaners on visors, because you can do damage to the plastic that you don't see it straight away, but it starts to go brittle and then it cracks. There was a thing with HJC visors which had screws in them. It wasn't the screws that were cracking it, but they were putting that stress point on there, which was fine until an inappropriate cleaner got behind there, laid there, and over time it'd start to craze and it would crack. And people say they're only using correct cleaners, but actually we're going to be doing a cleaners test when this is all over. It's supposed to be happening now. And be able to show you that some cleaners aren't good. So if in doubt, baby shampoo and water is what I use. So anyway, get that into that notch into the holder, bend that round like that. There we go. And then straighten the visor out. Okay, and that's it. Take out the liner. Just check it looks. Now that is not it. That is not sitting well at all. So we just jiggle it a little bit. Just moved it back, and we check that it's sitting against all the way around. And I can see there that it's not. So just open up again, get it sat correctly. That's it. So all I was doing was rotating it to get it in the right place. If you do need to adjust it, you can just rotate these tabs. So I'll show you the Arai while we're in it. I'll just take one side off. So you've got these plastic screws on here. Make sure you don't strip them or over tighten them. We had metal screws on the Shoei. Now this system uses a standard Arai visor, which is quite neat. But that's why they have to have two screws. So the visor on the Shoei, on the Glamster, isn't a standard Shoei visor. So you couldn't put your Neotech 2 visor in there. So neither of these have got the most elegant, simple visor system. There we go. So that's a standard Arai visor. So if you have got other Arais, then and you've got black visor, or you want to use another visor again, if it's one of the more recent ones, it's compatible with this. But yeah, it's a little bit more of a faff. Neither of them are that simple. But the standard Arai visor comes in for a lot of stick. I'll say I've got no problem with it. I find the standard visor quite quick and easy to use. This one obviously isn't, but it's not really designed to be. What you've got to remember is that both of these lids are in a market where people are buying them for their style and their look. So the fact that you now have these high-end lids, modern technology, they seal well. I've been using this Arai a fair bit before lockdown, and it's good. It's very comfortable. It's quite quiet. Venting's all right. It's not RX7 venting, that's for sure, but it's all right. It's not an everyday commuter lid. I do have to have it cracked open to stop my glasses from steaming up. But you get a fair bit of air, even when it's all closed up and the vents are closed. You get a fair bit of air coming up under the chin. So it'll be interesting to see how Steve gets on with that Glamster. Really, they're quite similar lids. Certainly the Glamster's a bit cheaper. It's going to come down to which one you like best. Just talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing this, because this is the joy of retro style helmets. If you want retro, you can go back to the days before we had quick release visors. But there we go. So let me know what you think. Would you wear this helmet? What bike do you have that you think you'd want to wear? I think it looks really cool. We're going to be putting out a lot more content while we're in lockdown, and hopefully we'll be all back on the roads again soon. But until then, please do stay safe, and we'll see you again soon. riding right to the back of the bench. God's sake. Get in. Look at that little bastard. Right.